How did you get the idea to escape? Was it
I
just you were hungry, right?
I was hungry, and then if you see North Korea at night from the satellite picture, it's like the darkest place in the world. It got no electricity. So in the border town, I was looking at Chinese side, and they had the lights coming out, and they had a high road, like ways where cars going by. So we also had rumors in North Korea saying that China dogs eat rice. Like so, Kim Il Sung promised us that I'm gonna make sure that my people are gonna eat white rice with the meat stew.
A meat stew, okay.
Yeah, so all North Korean wanted all their life and dying for the revolution was eat the white rice and the meat stew. It wasn't like we want to get private jet.
Right, yeah.
Like,
The bar's pretty low, right?
very very low, right? Any country in like some southern East Asia, they can feed all these people chicken and like rice. That's like nothing, and that's what we promised. And that's the communists cannot achieve that dream at all. They're so poor. So the in North Korea, so we heard that like dogs eat white rice in China, and I thought like the most bizarre thing I've ever heard. How on earth there's a place that dog eats rice, right?
Right. Like, how can that be?
How can that be? It's like almost like somebody telling you, "Oh, there aliens came and took you, and then they come visit you every night." Like that kind of a most absurd thing you hear.
Right. Like,
Mhm.
why would you feed a dog rice? It just doesn't compute.
Yeah, no, I mean in North Korea, dogs eat poop. Literally, that's how they survive.
Yeah, and then people try and steal it from them to get their poop
Yeah,
quota, as you
exactly.
mentioned. That's
Yeah.
oh my gosh. So you're hungry and you just say, "Hey, look, if they've got electricity and cars, they probably have food,"
Yeah.
right?
That's what I thought. And I guessed maybe there's a food, but it's like I was watching this documentary the other day about like 9/11. There were people were jumping out of that building. Exactly that situation. I don't know if I jump out, there is a life for me. But what can you do? The burning is burning. I mean,
Right.
burning, like you have no way out. So you gotta jump and see what happens. That's
And
how North Koreans do it.
that's how you felt. Just
Of course,
I might
it's
die doing this, but I'm definitely gonna die hungry here. So
yeah, I mean, there's like no chance of me surviving in that country if I didn't escape. So why don't I just jump and see what happens?
wow. And so how did you hatch the plan?
I had an older sister. Who I was 13 and I had a sister who was 16 in 2007. She escaped first, few days before me, and she left me a note saying, "Go find this lady. She's gonna help you." So I went to her with my mom, and then she said, like, "Yeah, I can help you to go to China." But I like, so desperate. It was no point of me even asking her, "Why are you helping me?"
Right, and also,
Just
if you already don't trust anyone, this is a desperate sort of Hail Mary move anyways. So
yeah.
why bother getting the details, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter even she kills me.
Right.
I'm dead anyway. Like it didn't occur to me. I had to ask her, why are you helping me? So because you're so desperate, like whatever thing gonna get you out, you wanna get out.
Wow. Okay. And you end up being trafficked and sold in China, and the whole story is in the book, by the way, which we'll link in the show notes. I'm not gonna make you go through it again because you do talk about it a lot in other shows as well. But this situation is, by all accounts, horrifying and harrowing, and you end up having to sell your own mother for food. It's just like the sneak preview is it's some of the most terrible things that you can imagine happening, and it happens over and over and over. And the people that you meet are all universally exploiting you and everyone who they come into contact with. It's like this is like the underbelly of sort of Chinese mafia human trafficking, right? So how do you eventually get away from that situation?
So when North Korean go to China, because of the one-child policy, right now there are 40 million men cannot find women, especially in the rural areas, and that numbers keep going up. So women being sold into four different places. One is human trafficking is where you're sold to a man in the village who have a disability or crazy or whatever it is. So sometimes they buy one girl and rotate entire town or rotate entire brothers in that family,
Oh, wow.
cousins.
So you're basically a sex slave at
Of
that point,
course.
not like a regular wife.
No, no, you're not a wife. They watch you when you go to bathroom.
Mm.
They don't want you to run away.
Oh,
So
man.
that's one. Second place is where the prostitution. They put you, these brothels get raped like 20 times a day. and then women refuse, so they give you drug, so they make you become drug addict.
Uh,
So women just do it because they want a drug. So you have get
Mm.
raped 20, 30 times a day in these like brothels. Third is where you go to organ harvesting.
mhm.
No, China is the biggest exporter of organs.
Yeah, I did a whole show about this.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
they also use North Koreans, just kill them and take the organs out. The last place is a chat room, where these brokers put in a setting on this facility where they lock the door and putting these girls in front of the cam, and the customers are South Koreans, and then show their body sex cam.
Mhm.
So among the four, what would you choose?
I mean, like, all jokes aside, I would obviously choose the cam girl
Exactly.
option because at least I'm not getting touched by.
Touch. You actually get raped by
Right,
people. Nobody comes to your room, right? You
right.
just show them your body. So I chose that.
Yeah.
I initially I was sold by a man. I was raped, and then at the end of the journey, I was finally able to go to chat room. There, I heard about South Korea, and I heard that there is a way out of China,
But you already knew South Korea existed, right?
but not like 대한민국, like 남조선, the southern of North Korea. They are fighting the language so much. So Joseon is Korea, like it's the South Korea. They call North Korea like 북조선, like north of Korea.
Okay.
South Korea, but their name is 대한민국, and we call them like south of North Korea.
Really? So
So
so North Korea just calls South Korea Southern North Korea.
yeah,
That's ridiculous.
and North Korea, South Korea calls them like northern South Korea.
Oh gosh, this
So
is like
the language difference was
Yeah.
huge, and then I did not know that I was a North Korean. They said that in North Korea told me I'm a 조선 사람. Did you hear the 조선?
Yeah, I've heard that
조선 mean
word.
yeah. So 조선 is what we knew of. So South Korea didn't have the name 조선 at all. It has like 대한민국. It's like what the heck is 대한민국, right? I did not that was like our southern part of North Korea was, and then I was talking to these people, and they said, like, I'm from 대한민국. I was like, what is 대한민국? And then we had a defector friend who was working in the chat too. And she said, I know the missionaries. And then if you go study Bible with them, and then they're gonna help us to escape to South Korea. So that's that was by then I was 15 years old.
15.
Yeah. So I
And
was there in 2 years in China.
2 years.
Hmm.
2 years of unspeakable sort of treatment and then Bible study. And this is your introduction to sex, right? You said before you had no idea the concept of sex until your mother was sexually assaulted essentially right in front of you. And then that became your daily existence for those few years. So you're doing this Bible study with the missionaries, and then how do they prepare you to escape? Like, what's their plan?
Pray and fasting.
Pray and fast. Did you tell them you already spent your life fasting and it didn't help?
Yeah. No,
Good God.
a lot of fasting and praying and memorizing the Bible verses.
So there's no practical training for like, here's how you're going to escape. It's just
No, they
like,
don't give you physical training. They don't give you gear. They don't give you the right clothing. It's you need a miracle to do it, which is because you are gonna go across the Gobi Desert into Mongolia from China in the -40 degrees.
you're going to cross the Gobi Desert on foot
In the
and just
-40 degrees.
in -40 degrees and just
Yeah.
hope that you end up in Mongolia.
Yeah, and then discovered by human beings in the middle of the Gobi Desert.